Since the start of Season 4, we've built a lot of farms. We've built a tower of farms over here, half a tower of farms over here, we've still got a couple more to add, but let's not go into details now, and a whole bunch of farms in our underground cave base. And this has all been in preparation for our main build this season. And finally, it's actually time to make a start, and I'm so excited. And although I say make a start, you've probably caught glimpses of it over the season, but of course I have already been doing some groundwork out here, by which I mean I've basically got rid of the river we had going through our connected bits of land, and we've been doing some landscaping out here, at least blocking out the main parts of the land. It still actually needs to be terraformed. And we've also made a start planning out some of the buildings, and as you may be aware, what we're going to be doing here is building a vast, sprawling, medieval city. And the idea is that I want to combine things that I've done previously over the last couple of years since I started playing Minecraft, and just try and put what I've learned into one big city. And it's going to have different districts, different areas, and the first thing we want to do is focus on this district over here, because you may have noticed that we've actually done things a little bit differently this season in regards to shops, in that we don't really have a designated shopping area. There's a whole pack of wolves there. Behave, you lot. So instead of normal shopping areas, we have a random collection of market stall type things in the nether. We have the used store, which Piggy built, which is just for selling small little things that you've got a bit of excess of. But for the most part, people are building all of their own shops at their bases. And this is something that we're going to be doing, or at least making a start on today. And this is a really good example of it. So Tiz has built himself a little shopping mall. We did, of course, take over a stall here and move in, which is great because it means Tiz is actually going to do some of the interiors in our shopping area. But the main idea for doing shops at bases is just to give us more reason to visit each other's builds and see what they've been up to. For example, if Tiz didn't have them all there, I would never have seen all of this. Well, I would have seen it, but just not regularly. This is crazy. I mean, look at what he's been doing here. And it's really nice to be able to show off each other's bases and, of course, look at their shopping areas. But Tiz isn't the only one with a shopping area. There's a couple of others that have started springing up, so let's go take a look and see what other people have been doing, and then we can discuss what we're going to do. So while we're in the nether, I guess we might as well go to Groover's base first, because for some reason, he's absolutely mad. He's basing in the nether. And not just somewhere random in the nether, he's actually basing in a nether fortress. So if we fly down here, this is the shop of Groover currently, and yeah, it looks like it should be dangerous, but honestly, it isn't, because Groover's been very, very clever, and he's built some kind of nether mob switch type things, which means he can live here without fear of being attacked by nether stuff. But if you want to find out more about that, do go check out Groover's videos. It's all very technical and goes a little bit above my head, but it's a cool effect. Now he can base here without fear of destruction. But I also happen to know that Mr. Slack Lizard has done some shops as well, and he's quite near to us, so let's go have a look, see what he's been up to. So over here in Slack's floating island paradise that's getting built up, he has a shopping area just down here, and as you can see, he currently has a wool shop and an iron shop, and I absolutely love the design of these things. They just look so quirky and, yeah, gorgeous. Absolutely love it. And the inside of the sheep is a colourful nightmare, but it does the job well. 4 stacks for a diamond. I can't compete with that. But once again, a very unique shopping area. I imagine he's going to have other floating islands with other shops around as time goes on. But this is just an example of what we can do at our bases instead of having a central shopping area. And I think there's a couple of other shops around, such as Jesse's Bakery over here at Jesse's Portal. And of course, Zloyd's Tavern, which is in fact a potion shop, selling a wide variety of potions, as you may have noticed from a previous episode. But this brings us back to our area, and everything you see laid out in white is basically going to be our shopping area, with a portal right here in the center. And this is going to be the start of our city, and we've already got visitors. Excellent. So we spent a stream last week just laying this out. It will likely change as we start building. It's just to give me an idea of a layout that I might want here. But yeah, as I say, I fully expect it to change as I start putting the buildings up. Some of them are probably a bit small. Some of them are probably going to be combined into joint buildings, and so on. But I do want to make sure that most of the buildings in this shopping area have similar colour schemes, or at least the roofs. I want the roofs to be similar. And we're going to do that with districts throughout the area. So down in the sort of shantytown fishing village, it's going to be a lot more sort of dull colours and so on. But up here, I think we're going to make a start with some Acacia Roofs. Luckily, we spent the last 3 months actually gathering resources, so we should have everything we need to be able to get down probably a small row of shops down here today, or at least the buildings for them. I don't think we'll get the interiors done today, because I also need to do the portal and so on, and we've already been talking for probably about, I don't even know how long. Sorry, let's get started, shall we? And by get started, of course, what I mean is we're going to hop over to our creative world here on the Multibeard, which is actually our community server hub. It is in Java, however, luckily we can also connect via Bedrock. Bedrock. And over here on Plotbeard, if we hop in here, this is our plot world. And just over here, I've been playing around with some designs and layouts. This will be down more by the coast, so, you know, just to give you a sneaky peek of the kind of things we're going to be doing. But what I wanted to show you was more this sort of area here. So these are the sort of colours we're going to be using down by the fishing docks, very dull and muted and so on. It's going to be a lot brighter up where we're doing our shops. But these tight winding streets and all the little details and things like that are what we're going to be aiming for. So as you're walking around, you've just got all these different shop entrances, like this one would be books, for example, or bookshelves, I should say. This one would be a fishmonger's, and so on. And this way, we can keep it nice and compact, we can have all the shops near each other, and we get to create a nice immersive environment. So this is the kind of look and feel we're going to be going for throughout the busier areas of the city. Obviously, it opens out a bit here where I'm still building and messing around, but just the mishmash of buildings, the way they're all just sort of thrown together, I really like how this is coming together. So we're going to do something similar up on our hill. I never really mention it in videos, but if you did want to join in on the multi-beard, you are more than welcome. It is a community server. You just need to be a member of the Discord, get to level 5, and you can come join us over here on the plot world. And if you're a Java player, you'll be able to play on all these other servers as well. If you're Bedrock, you'll only be able to get on a couple because of just the way things work. But still, anyway, back to the real world. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is actually get the portal in, because that's going to kind of dictate whether I need to actually push these buildings back a little bit further to create more space or not. And I've got an idea of how I want this to look. The problem is that idea involves making a custom tree. And I'm not a big fan of custom trees. I love how they look when they're done, just not when I make them. That's the main problem. I'm not very good at them. But I need to keep building them to practice, right? So I guess that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to put a nice tree in. We're actually just going to hang the portal from one of the branches. I think I'm going to do some kind of oak, maybe willow type tree. I don't really know. I do struggle with trees a bit, but we're going to see what we can do here, and we're going to have a big branch leaning over, and that's what's going to be holding the actual portal itself. So let's just see what we can do here, and I'll bring you back in if and when we get some kind of a tree shape going on in here. Well, I'm making some progress. I'm just not sure if it's good progress or not. I'm not particularly happy with the shape of this at the moment, so I'm going to keep placing more leaves and things and trying to figure it out, but I need to make sure I have a branch hanging out here so I can dangle a portal from it, but don't even know if I've actually made that far away enough or not. Maybe I should put a temporary portal in just to see. Yeah, I think it's safe to say I definitely haven't made that branch anywhere near big enough. So I need to tear down this half of the tree and actually rebuild that a good 3 or 4 blocks higher, which is fine because it's going to solve the weird janky shaped tree problem I've got at the moment. Hopefully. There we go, that works a little bit better. The shape is still in need of a bit of love and attention, but it's a good enough start for now, and we can at least start trying to figure out how we're going to integrate the portal here. So all of this area here is going to be paved. It's going to be a mix of mainly stone with a little bit of andesite, maybe some stone brick, and I think I want to put a wall up around this bit as well to sort of tie it into that, and I'm not too sure what we'll do with the stairs, but we'll think of something. But I think that's going to work as a nice central portal for our little shopping area here. So let's go get some stone and stuff and see if we can decorate the area and try and actually blend that in a little bit more. And the tree really looks janky from over here. Oh my. Oh look, there's a Liara over there. Liara looks like she wants something. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Good, good, good. I'm struggling to build a tree currently.
I see that.
Yeah.
It's I mean, yeah, it's no Jesse tree, but it's still pretty good.
It's not. I'm working on it at the moment, Lee, and I've taken down many branches and rebuilt them a couple of times now. But I'm only halfway through the Hobbit, so I've still got the other half yet.
I don't know. It's always hard when you start bringing in anything that's not just logs, but you know, it's definitely
it's just trees, Liara. I can't stand trees. It's why I build cities, but I was like, I kind of need at least one tree. So I thought if I do the tree first, then I can do the city after.
Yeah, it can just get hidden in the middle of it, you know.
Yep. That's the plan. Anyway, how can I help?
I wanted to ask what your plans are for the area over here, because I know you generously left the hole that I had exposed.
Oh yeah, I ran out of resources. Yeah.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, I fell in. Yes, I knew this was your entrance, and I didn't want to block you in.
Okay.
But I also didn't want a river in the middle of my land, so I just kind of built over it.
So you didn't want the river in the middle of your property. Do you have plans for inside here then at all? I've got enough cave to fill, so I wasn't thinking the whole place. I was just thinking maybe back to about here anyways, of just fancying it up a bit. So that would work out.
Yeah, honestly, anything you want to do with this space, absolutely fine. I'm focused on the surface, so
Nice.
yeah.
Okay.
This is all yours.
Well, I thank you for the extra real estate.
I look forward to seeing what you do with the space.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I do too, because I don't know what I'm doing yet, but it feels, I don't know, lagoony. I like it.
It is a bit lagoony, and you do have, you know, Pirate's Lloyd just over there as well, so...
Yeah, I'm not going to tell him where the entrance to this is.
Asking for trouble.
I don't care if he comes and decorates, but I have a feeling that it would be, like, legitimately stolen goods if he did, so...
Yeah, probably. Cool. Well, anyway, I've got a tree to go and watch the rest of The Hobbit while trying to build. So I will catch you later. But enjoy the cave. It's been a pleasure, as always.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Well, I think we're definitely getting closer, and the tree still doesn't look right. I've changed the trunk a little bit here, and it's definitely working better. But once again, it's just not quite right. I can't do trees. What is it with me and trees? So for now, I'm going to ignore the rest of the tree. Yes, that's definitely the right plan, because I've got other things I want to get done this episode, and I've spent way too long doing that. I've watched most of The Hobbit while building that. And, well, that just goes to show how much I struggle with trees. So let's go get some stone and other bits and bobs and see if we can actually get this area looking a bit more, I don't know, how do I put it? Tied in, I guess, to what it's going to be. I mean, what is this? That's so square. I mean, I know it's Minecraft, but geez. Get rid of some of these ones. There's too many leaves. There's too many. This doesn't even make sense. Oh, God. Yeah, so anyway, trees. I hate trees. Let's get some stone. Let's get some paths in. And I'll meet you back here once this area is hopefully looking a bit better. And then we can get some buildings up and hide the tree. That's looking a lot better already, just with the addition of a floor. I still don't like the tree, but let's not talk about the tree. It's time for us to come over here and actually start building some shops. And as you can see, Dr. Beardstone is having a whale of a time. Oh dear. Oh dear. Let's get rid of that out of his hand, shall we? There we go. Although I'm constantly going to hear him hitting the floor. Ah, Bedrock. But, yes, we are getting ready for a time lapse. So we're actually going to start building down here. I think my plan is to probably get at least these sort of first 3 buildings in, and then we'll see what time we've got left after that on whether we can actually get the interiors done today or not, and whether we can actually get the shop open. Probably not, but we'll see if we can at least get the buildings down. So I guess there's nothing left to do except make a start, and that's going to involve me getting rid of all this wool. Excellent. Let's roll the time lapse, shall we? Managed to get 3 buildings down, but we have managed to at least get the first 2 in, and to be honest, I'm actually really pleased with how they came out. I wasn't too sure at first as I was putting them down. I changed a few of the walls as we went along, as you probably saw in the time lapse, but I do actually really like how this has come together, and I think once we actually sort of decorate them and get the signs up showing what they're selling, and of course, once we sort out the interiors, I think that's all going to start looking a lot better. I have actually got the floors in, at least. So, yeah, we've made a start on the interiors. That's more than we usually do. It has floors. But of course, if we're going to turn these into shops, they're going to need more than just a few floors. And the good news is I've just finished watching The Desolation of Smaug, which was the second Hobbit film. So yeah, a couple of Hobbit films, and we've actually made some good progress over here. It's a weird way to measure time. I was initially unsure on the Acacia Roofs as well, but especially looking at it from a distance, I think they are going to work well, especially if we can imagine a large chunk of the town here with similar sort of roofs, maybe different trims and so on. But I think the Acacia Roofs in the shopping area are definitely going to work well. The next step, of course, is going to be to get a few more buildings down and convert these into shops. And then once we've got shops, we'll actually link up the nether portal. But that's all going to have to wait for next episode, I'm afraid, because we are out of time here. A couple of Hobbit films really does take it out of you. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye now.
You ready to die, Beardstone?
Oh, right. Is that how you think it's going to go, is it? Yeah.
That's exactly how it's going to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like there's a fight. Come on, then.
Okay. Listen. No. Rude.